Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Tight Cycling. Yeah, you can see we started mid-ride. Yeah, I actually just joined. This is Miguel, our trusted pace partner. He goes at around 1.8, 1.7 watts per kilo. And yeah, we use him as a little warm-up for the Cycle Nation endurance ride that will start in 18 minutes. So yeah, so we have here, we'll probably do what is it, like 8-9 kilometers or so, and then we'll head over to the endurance ride where we will hopefully finish the 100k and then some, because yeah, I need to get started on the goals that we have set out for us for this year. And one of the goals is to do some very long endurance rides. And I had this idea of maybe next weekend to get the first one of those long endurance rides in. But for that, I actually need to see how I do when I ride, significantly more than 100k per day. So we are not gonna do that all today, but yeah, we missed this morning where we were supposed to do like 30-40k, but I couldn't peel myself out of bed. And so now we'll try to do this warm-up, then do 100k plus, hopefully. And then, yeah, and then we'll see how we feel about tomorrow, because tomorrow there's another Cycle Nation endurance ride of 100k. So we'll see. Anyways, so for now, we'll just enjoy the slow riding here. I will probably keep it all in one video, but yeah, obviously I will probably switch off the video when we change rides, but then a little bit more editing, but probably worth it. And for those of you who actually were wondering what happened to last week's videos, we recorded the Saturday as well as Sunday session with the Cycle Nation, and yeah, my editing software, so it takes a long time for me. I'm not very proficient at that, so it takes a long time, and I had it where I kind of wanted it to be, and then the software crashed. And so I loaded the software again and yeah, tried to recover the previous session. And I thought I did, but as soon as I tried to edit the previous session again, it just crashed again. So, which meant that I would have needed to start from scratch. And to be honest, I couldn't bring myself to do it. So that's the reason why you didn't see anything from last weekend. There was some significant time spent on the editing, and then seeing it all going down the drain was too much for me to handle. And I was like, F this. But I did put out some videos last week from some races. So, namely the Neokyo Crit Club race. We raced it 3 times. and we came 8th 3 times. On all 3 occasions we came in 8th. Yeah, you probably also saw that I was moaning about not being able to use steering, which here seems to work. And yeah, I don't know why. So I wrote Zwift and I got like a very generic email back, which was utterly disappointing because it happened to me before, twice actually, where I wrote them because there was something wrong with the software. And of course I was asked, did you plug it in? And I was like, if you read my email in full, you would have seen that, yeah, I went through all those steps, and I actually provided the link to my video where I was showing that I was actually riding outside of the pack, which should never happen. And I was in full wind, like 100% in the wind, although I was like at the same speed as the others in the group. And yeah, again, I'm not sure if we could have done much better because we were quite pooped by that time, but it certainly didn't help that in 1 or 2 laps we needed to ride essentially a K or maybe even slightly more in the wind without any draft, simply because the software put us on the center line of the road where most of the racing was actually done on one side, and in the race it was actually left hand side. But anyways, the racing was still fun. We enjoyed it. And then yesterday I did the LaGuardia super sprint race. It's only 4.3K in New York, and yeah, that one I raced a couple of times before, but I don't know, yesterday all the stars aligned and we actually came in second in the B-Cat, which is very unusual. But because the first guy, he didn't wear a heart rate monitor, we were bumped up to first, which I know it was second, and that would have been perfectly fine for us. We were very delighted to see coming second out of, I think it was 10, 11 people or so. And I'd rather take a second place out of 10 or 11 than what it ended up being, where we came in first out of 3. I don't know if the others all got disqualified because of not having a heart rate monitor or power was too high or whatnot, but yeah. Anyways, it was a good race. It's actually uploading as we speak, so should be available for you to watch pretty much any second now. There's always, if you follow me on Strava, the summary on Strava, or the ride, the record of the ride usually contains the link, the YouTube link. So it may be easy to just go there, or go to, YouTube, find Tight Cycling, sort by latest video, and then you should see it coming up, the LaGuardia Super Sprint. Very short video, because the whole race takes essentially 6 minutes. So yeah, if you like that video or these videos here, please do consider smashing that like button and maybe even subscribing. We are a very, very small channel, and luckily I don't do that for, you know, monetary reasons, but it would still be nice to see this channel develop, because that would open opportunities for, you know, inviting other YouTubers to do some races together or against one another. I'm also designing my own clothes at the moment, and hopefully, I don't know, before the end of summer I will have something to show for and will be able to sport my own tight cycling jerseys and pants. So if you want to keep up with that, then, you know, one more reason to smash that like button. And if you feel like leaving a comment, please do. I promise I'll get back to you. Every now and then it takes a little longer for me to get back, but I always do. So much appreciate you considering it. And for now, I'll just let you ride with us for the next 1.5K, and then we'll move over to join the Cycle Nation endurance ride. All right. Take care for now, and I'll catch up with you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we are done with the warm-up. We'll stop at 11K, and then we will head over, which is now, to the other ride. All right, everyone. We made it into the starting pens of the Cycle Nation endurance ride. This is 100K, and it's on Watopia's waistband. So we'll, as always, try to, you know, get into the group, get into the groove, and then hopefully finish 100K today. We have done 11K as a warm-up, and now it's time to, so to speak, put the hammer down, at least endurance-wise. Power-wise, hopefully going to be about, I don't know, 2 watts per kilo or so, I would assume. Okay, steering works. That's good. All right, so let's see. We are slightly ahead of the group, so we'll ease back and go behind the fence. And then we'll just get going. So strap in, this is going to be a long one. 240 probably, maybe 245. And if there's anything important happening along the way, I will slow down the video. But I'm not going to bore you with, you know, long stretches of nothing happening. So yeah, just enjoy the ride, and I'll catch up with you in a few minutes. before you know it, 10.5K done. And we are on top of this little climb. The only, not really a big one, but the only place on this Watopia's waistband that has like some vertical meters strung together. I think there's one more in the tunnel. And there's like a 3% ramp, but also not very long. Anyhow, now it's on the downhill. We are just going to be resting even more. So far we do 1.8 watts per kilo on average. Yeah, heart rate is fine. Power is good. Feeling okay. So hopefully we'll go through the, usually we hit some mental borders at before 50, like 30, 40K, when you still haven't even done half of the ride, then you feel like, ugh, a little exhausted. And then, yeah, between like 50 and 80 is usually quite a stretch as well. But so far so good. We'll not be sprinting. We'll use this as a zone 2 endurance ride as long as we can. And then if the legs allow, then we might be sprinting towards the end or join the efforts to slay the people in front of the fence. So Jack, who is the red beacon today, he usually tries to slay the flyers with like, I don't know, 20 or 10K to go, trying to reel them in. I might join that today if I feel that I still have a little bit of power left, but that's a long way to go. Probably around 2.5 hours, or 2 hours 15, 2 hours 20 or so. So for now, we'll just stay within the pack, keep a low profile, and hopefully we'll, survive this ride. So back to you in a little bit. Yeah, that's the other little climb I was talking about. %. We started this at 33 vertical. Let's see, can't be more than 10 meters or so. Let's see. All right, like 8 meters, 7, 8 meters. All right, I think here come another few vertical meters that will be added to the tally. Yeah, okay, so this was another 14, 15 meters vertical, starting off with 1% and then going to 3 or even 4 briefly. But with that, we reached 17K, meaning we have 6 of the total distance done. Still feeling fine. So in another half an hour, we should be, a third done. And hopefully shortly thereafter we'll be halfway through. And that's usually like a mental point of reference that will help you getting through the rest. But yeah, we're still feeling surprisingly fresh. I thought that close to 50K warm up yesterday, and then that short, very spicy race, where I was essentially going all out for close to 6 minutes, that this might have destroyed us, but so far so good. Knock on wood. Okay, back to the right. Talk to you in a bit. And another milestone reached, 20K, 1/5 done. HR, we just had this slight little kicker that brought HR zone up to 2.5. Yeah, but we expect this to go back down. Anyhow, back to the right. Well, I fell asleep here for a second. Messaged some jokes and replied to some things others wrote, and found myself in the zone with the red beacon. So now we're just clawing our way back to yellow, and then try to stay within the pack. Okay, here we go. 1/3 is done. Look at us. Very good. So I'm thinking about taking a coffee break now. Change my shirt. But we will lose the ability to steer. Anyways, it's a big group, so should be fine. So let me do that. And I will see you in a second. All right, made it just in time. Yeah, 3 minutes is not that long. I mean, I understand why you want to limit this. You can't have, 5 minutes or so every half an hour. But it essentially just allows you, I refill 2 bottles and change the shirt. And then I had to run back. So, yeah. Well, we made it, so that's all that matters. And now we're back riding the Cycle Nation Endurance ride here. And yes, the steering is gone, as expected. But should be fine. We are in a big group. At least, let's hope so. Okay, so we shared a lot of jokes. Some of them seems to have landed. I think people are getting a little afraid that I might get shadow banned again. Happened before, but I shared some jokes that were, yeah, in hindsight, they were probably not appropriate for Zwift. But so far, I don't think that I've shared a single joke on this ride that would warrant a ban or shadow ban. So we should be fine. Let me just see which one it was. Oh yeah, it was. I said this is for my American friends, because this is something that would most likely only happen in the US. So it says, a black man in Chicago was shot 15 times. Police said it was the worst case of suicides I've ever seen. So I think it's a good joke. So we'll see how the Zwift police will react, but I don't think that this should be any problem. All right, half of it is done, so we will get back in the groove here, share some more jokes, and then we will I will catch up with you in a few minutes or kilometers. Okay, so we have 2/3 done, and there must have been a little bug in Zwift, which made The sweepers go off the back, trying to save someone who was not there, and then they got stranded, almost a minute behind. But now we are back. Okay, so that added a little spice, which is nice. So now we'll settle back into a good rhythm and then see if Jack wants to go for some slaying of some flyers. It probably won't happen before kilometer 80 or even 90, depending on how far ahead they are. But feeling, weirdly enough, feeling pretty good. HR went into zone 3 and now just on the border between 2 and 3. Hopefully it will go back into zone 2 and then we'll get some energy back for some either sprinting or some slaying. All right, so we have 3/4 done, and it seems as if there's a group forming to slay the flyers. Jack is proposing doing 3.2 to 3.4 watts per kilo, which is quite steep. But yeah, we will see if it actually comes to fruition. So far, it seems like we have 4 people. I don't think that this would be enough. Okay, so we'll just change our shirt one more time and prepare for the sleighing. Be back in a sec. Okay. So stupidly enough, we joined the Slayer team. So what they're trying to do is to catch the flyers that are, I guess, like 7 minutes ahead. And yeah, for that to happen, the plan is to do 3.2, 3.4 watts per kilo for some time. I now think it might have not been the best idea. Yeah, that was a stupid idea. So we had some synth at the front of this group, but of course, the longer we ride at this pace, at this power, the more we will fade, because this is essentially riding at FTP after already 90k in the legs, 10 for warm-up, and then 80 here. What a stupid idea that was. Okay. Five minutes. Okay. So we're not going to catch the last couple of riders, but still good effort. One K to go. Okay, so 101K done. Yeah, that was spicy towards the end. I don't know why I volunteered. That was stupid. But definitely a great workout. And if you watch Jack's numbers in races, he improved so much. And he attributes most of it to his work here as a sweeper. And man, he's definitely one of the best in the business. Yeah, so keeping a steady pace, which is most likely zone 2 for him, all the way through. And then with some, spicy intervals of 5 to 10 minutes of sweeping at elevated powers. Yeah, that seems to be doing the trick. So happy not only that we finished 100K, but that we are actually putting in quite a deep dig for the last 20K. Wondering what will happen to if it shows that we have a new FTP, because that was definitely more than 20 minutes. And maybe we reached somewhere around our FTP numbers. We'll see when I stop the ride. So I will just turn my legs a little bit and yeah, keep it easy. We'll finish this lap in hopes that we might pick up a big bonus at the finish line, which would be another 250 XP. Don't think it will happen, but one can always hope. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the Slayer group. I'm sorry I couldn't keep pace. In the beginning I tried, but then I was, for the later part of the chase, yeah, I definitely sat in on the wheel more than I was leading. But great shout out to, I think her name is Camilla Cecilia from Norway, who was riding in the chaser group all the time, and due to her probably very low weight, I just saw numbers of close to 4 watts per kilo for extended times. So crazy good effort. Yeah, I wish I could hold that kind of power for a longer time, but yeah, well done. And also for the ones who got away, which I think Sven, but that's no surprise, his FTP is at about 6 watts per kilo. So it's okay not to be able to catch him, but also to Rich, and I think one Italian fellow who we couldn't catch. They were still about 2 minutes out when we finished 100K. So well done, you guys. But maybe for next time, stick with the group. And if you're that strong, then maybe help out with the sweeper team. They always need some help, or they always maybe not need, but definitely appreciate help. So yeah, but well done everyone who rode here today. If you finished whatever distance, it doesn't matter. Well done you. Getting out of bed, getting on the bike is already a hurdle and sometimes too much to handle. But yeah, well done everyone. And I will just go through the finish line and then we'll call it a day. So I'll speed up the video and talk to you in a bit. Okay, guys. It feels like I could, at this pace, I could go quite a bit longer, but we are not putting any power out at the moment. 1.1, 1.3 watts. So this is just to get to 111K, and then we'll call it a day, or at least call it a ride. You might get back on tonight just for stretching the legs. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. Smash that little button down there, like and subscribe. And yeah, with the slaying, I think this made it a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, right? But yeah, we had fun. If you did too, then yeah, I hope it brought a smile to your face and that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. For now, I just say bye and leave you with our motto, which is ride hard, have fun, tight. So tight cycling out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.